Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about all the news that happened since the Super Bowl. First bit of news, T. Higgins yesterday and the Bengals said that they're going to try to come to a long-term deal, try to sign him because it was dumb for the game with them not trying to sign T. Higgins, not signing Ja'Marr Chase. They need to sign both these guys because you can't just have one elite receiver. You need two. And I would love to see Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins back to the Bengals. Now, the Bengals said if they can't come to a long-term deal, they will just franchise tag him. So if they franchise tag him, they might sign and trade him. But that doesn't happen all the time. But I could see that happening in this case because T. Higgins is very good and they might not want to pay him $25 to $30 million a year. So that's a very likely outcome. But if he does stay in the Bengals, I would love that for the Bengals because T. Higgins is an upstanding guy. He's a jump ball receiver that complements Ja'Marr Chase, who's a workhorse, who you just throw him the ball. T. Higgins, you throw him like 5 balls a game on the Bengals, and he'll come down with those catches. So I love that for the Bengals if they can keep him. And I think they could be a playoff team and maybe compete for a Super Bowl because they're the only team in the AFC that's shown that they could beat the Chiefs. Now, let's talk about Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Matthew Stafford and his wife I think his wife was talking about how he wants Matthew Stafford to move or something, and the Rams were shopping him. They were talking to the New York Giants, my favorite team, about trading him for a first-round pick for the Giants thought that if that would have happened, that would be the worst trade in NFL history. Trading for Matthew Stafford 2 years for your third overall pick, who you get Travis Hunter or another quarterback, maybe Shedeur Sanders. I wouldn't like it for that. And I think that's really what they want. Maybe a second-round pick. But I don't know why the Rams are shopping Matthew Stafford. They were so close to going back to an NFC Championship game. They were like one drive away from beating the Eagles. So I think they should run it back, sign a few people, and just have a good draft. I think they can maybe go to the Super Bowl. So I don't know why they'd want to get rid of Matthew Stafford. But maybe if I'm them, I might draft the guy in the second round. The next year get rid of him. But I don't understand the logic. But I could see him going to the Steelers. That should make the Steelers a lot better. And I think that would fit with Matthew Stafford very well. Because they have a good defense. And that's the one team he get traded to where he might be able to compete. Alright, and now some other news is Deebo Samuels might want to trade from the Niners. And I could see him going to a few teams. The Steelers were looking at trading for him like a few years ago. The Packers might want another presence. The Giants are looking to add another weapon. And I think Deebo could fit. So yeah, Deebo is on the move. And I think his value is probably like a third-round pick. Because he hasn't been as good as he was in his prime for the Niners. So, I mean, I could see him going to. I think the Steelers are probably the most likely outcome right now because I can't think of a bunch of teams who's going to go out there and try to trade for a receiver other than them and the Packers. Because I don't see the Chiefs. I don't think the Bills are going to do that again. Maybe the Ravens, but I mean he could fit there. He could play all around the field, and the Ravens like using their guys a lot. Maybe them. But those are a few fits I like for Deebo Samuels. Maybe he goes to the Bengals if T. Higgins isn't there. But I think him and Ja'Marr Chase. Ja'Marr Chase is a lot better, but they have some qualities that don't mesh. So, I don't know. I like Deebo for the Steelers or a team that he'll be the number one receiver on. So, yeah, he's on the move. And the Niners, because he's been talking, I don't know what the Niners are doing. I think they should trade him. But like I said, his value is probably like a third, maybe a second. But a second's a bit too rich for me. I wouldn't pay a second for him, but I'm not an NFL GM. So I think he'll go to the Steelers. And I like that fit a lot with Mike Tomlin. And they need someone else in offense. And another guy, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp might get cut. Might get traded. Maybe to the Jags. There's not a lot of teams who need a Cooper Kupp receiver, like a slot guy. There's a lot of good slot guys in the NFL, like the Lions won't take him. So I don't know. I could see Cooper Cup going to the Commanders. I like that fit a lot. The Commanders need another guy next to Terry McLaurin, and he shouldn't be that expensive. Maybe like a fifth or a fourth if they trade him. I don't know if they will. It would make sense for the Rams to get rid of Cooper Cup because he's getting up there in age. His contract's a little up there, so they might cut him. I like the Commanders for like a fourth or a fifth round pick to just get more talent in that receiver room. Even though the offense was great in the playoffs and it was just great last year. And the Tennessee Titans said they want a generational talent with the first overall pick, so they might not take a quarterback. Because I could see them taking Travis Hunter or Dual Carter, even though they really need a quarterback. But maybe Sam Darnold they sign. So yeah, the Titans might not draft the quarterback. There's the Jets released Aaron Rodgers, which is big news. He's going to be on a different team, which I think would be better for him and the Jets. It was just not good there. So I don't think Aaron Rodgers would have been happy staying with the Jets. So I like that he's going a different team. I could see him going to the Niners or a dark horse. I think the Steelers would be a great fit. I think he's a little better than Russ right now. Russ is definitely more mobile, but Aaron Rodgers still has glimpses, and that's what the Steelers need, upside. And if they get Debo and Aaron Rodgers, I think they can win a playoff game for the first time in like 8 years. So I would like that for the Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers could go to the Titans maybe if they draft Cam Ward. Maybe they want Cam Ward to lawn under Aaron Rodgers, or if they don't like the quarterbacks, like I said, they want a generational talent. They might want Aaron Rodgers as a bridge. I can see the Giants. Because the Giants, it doesn't seem like they love both quarterbacks. I think they're probably going to take one. But if they don't, they obviously need to sign a guy. And I would like Aaron Rodgers because he still has arm talent. He's just a little up there. And if you want to play for a team that can win, the Steelers, maybe the Rams if they let go of Matthew Stafford. There's not a lot of teams who are going to be in the Aaron Rodgers business if he wants to go to a winning team. But those are some of them. So, yeah, that's where I would like Aaron Rodgers at one of those teams. And in more news, Davante Adams is probably going to get cut. And he's probably going to sign to whichever team signs Aaron Rodgers. So, let's say the Titans sign Aaron Rodgers and they sign Davante Adams. Or the Giants. And even if he goes to the Rams, I don't see it. I mean, I guess maybe if Kupp goes, Davante Adams could fit there. But I don't know. Davante maybe to the Steelers. I don't know. But yeah, I think the Jets are going to cut Davante Adams. So he's going to be going somewhere else. If he doesn't go with Aaron Rodgers, there's a few teams who would want to probably sign him. Teams that want to win. Like I said, the Steelers. The Ravens. I could see the Commanders maybe, even though it's a little like contradicting yourself when you have Terry McLaurin, who's already a great deep threat. So yeah, I could see that. And more news, Tyreek Hill also wants out. He requested a trade a little bit ago, I think during the Super Bowl, a little before. So it was a little bit ago. But I could see him maybe going to, because he's still good. He's probably be the best receiver, him and T. Higgins. So I could see him going, not back to the Chiefs anymore. I just think they have enough receivers and they don't have the money. But I could see him going to, I would love him with the Commanders, a great deep threat. So that would be a good fit. He could go to, I mean, there's not like the lines would be crazy. Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, and Tyreek Hill. The speed would be crazy. And I could see the Lions making a big move like that because they're very upset probably losing the divisional round. The Ravens, but receivers don't like playing Lamar Jackson because he doesn't throw the ball a lot. Maybe now because he's a little more developed. And Tyreek Hill is a diva, so I don't know how good of a fit that is. The Bills, I would love the Bills, but maybe that would be the one guy they would trade for, is a Tyreek Hill who could really change the dynamic of their offense. But that's really it. Teams in the NFC other than the Commanders and Lions. Maybe the Rams trade Cooper Kupp and get Tyreek Hill. Like the Rams, if they get rid of Cooper Kupp, they'll have a big need at receiver. I could see maybe Cooper Kupp second for Tyreek Hill. Maybe Cooper Kupp a second and a fourth for Tyreek Hill. I could see the Dolphins being like, oh, if you don't want to come here, we'll just get Cooper Kupp. Obviously, it makes you worse at receiver. But if he wants to leave, he wants to leave, and you still want to try to win now. So I would like that for the Dolphins, kinda. Even though I think that if the Dolphins lose Tyreek Hill, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs in the AFC because it's very tough. And in some more news, probably last bit, Derek Carr and Tyler Lockett are both old players who are probably going to get cut. Tyler Lockett's been on the Seahawks his whole career. He's been there for a while, so it'll be weird seeing another team. See, maybe going to the Raiders because they have Pete Carroll, his former coach, and Derek Carr. He was on the Saints. They paid him a lot of money, and I could very well see him get cut and going to like Giants or something, a team who's going to draft a quarterback who just wants an old backup just in case. Because I don't think Derek Carr is a starting caliber. He can start, but I don't think you want him to be your only starter. I don't think that's a good idea. And Kirk Cousins, the same thing as Derek Carr, maybe a little better. I like him on the Browns because the